Yeah, I mean, sometimes when it rains, it pours, as they say, and we obviously, did well tonight, finishing, getting the early goal, got us off to a really good start. The early goal by Barrett there, a good ball by Kenny Cooper. But I thought, bringing in some guys with fresh legs. I think Cooper, Barrett, obviously Andy Rose getting finally back into the mix, and I think fresh center backs, I think really helped us at the end of the day, made us a little quicker, a little sharper, which is what we wanted to achieve in this game.
Andy's first start in almost 5 months. What can you say about how he played today?
It was great. I mean, he's been held back a little bit with injuries, and then trying to get his fitness back. And, Andy gives you something because when he can come forward, he's dangerous on set pieces like he is. And I also thought he played some good balls in. It was his ball into Cooper that set up that first goal, and Andy can play very simple and sees things like that. So it's nice to have him, as I said, back in the mix where we can use him.
Given both kind of the mental and physical situation, what do you think of Yedlin?
I thought he was good. We had talked, DeAndre and me had texted back and forth, before he got back, and he came out. He was there Saturday, worked out a little bit Sunday, at the game, and he trained with us on Tuesday, and we had gone over it and stuff, and I told him you're going to play tonight, and he was ready, and I think he did really well.
What are your thoughts on his move to Tottenham?
I think it's great. It's a situation where, in the world of soccer, most clubs are selling clubs. There are very few that are the ultimate buyers at the end of the day. Maybe a Man United or maybe Man City now or some teams like that, or Bayern Munich. So it was a good opportunity for us, and so it's an opportunity for DeAndre, but a good opportunity for the club. And it's great that he's going to be here because I think his soccer here will continue to develop and grow.
You mentioned lacking width on Sunday. Is that something that DeAndre brings for you guys, and could you sense that difference tonight?
Well, we said we needed to play with more width. That's something we talked about before the game. I thought DeAndre, gives us that on the right-hand side for sure. I thought Lamar did a better job giving us width on that side as well. Evans gave us some good width on the left side, getting forward also. Papa stayed a little wider. So I think all of them responded to what we were asking them to do.
Fifth Open Cup final in 6 years and coming against Philadelphia. Your thoughts on both of those things?
It's fantastic. It's something we said to the club, that we take seriously, and as I said to Papa and Annie Baba before the game, I said, this is the reason you came here, is to battle for trophies, so show it tonight. And, that's what they did, and they had, both of them had good games, and, so now, we won our first Open Cup on the road at D.C., and, we've got to be prepared. We've got to go into Philly and do it. It's going to be a long road trip because we go from Philly to New York and then to Dallas. So, we'll be away from home for about 10 days. It'll feel like preseason to a certain extent. But we'll be ready for it. This is what we want to do. And, like I say, if you enter it, try and win it.
Coach, is there any extra or sentimental value winning these games in front of the smaller crowds here at Starfire?
It's just a different atmosphere. It's just electric, and it's something that's sort of, probably the best word. It's a tradition now. If we played an early round Open Cup game in CenturyLink, it just wouldn't feel the same. So it's sort of a tradition for us to play here, and I think our guys thrive on the closeness of the crowd, and it helps spur them on to good performances.
And Marshall and Dempsey are just waiting for Saturday.
Yeah. With Marshall and Dempsey, we were holding them out. Dempsey's, as I said earlier, Dempsey's been going since January. He's been going 7 months, so we got to try and get him fresh again. So our plan was to hold him out of this one, alter his training a little bit, so get his freshness back. We wanted to start the other two. Oba would have came in earlier if we were struggling or something. It was great to see Oba get involved, get a goal and get an assist as well. So that helps him to try and keep his rhythm. But the guys that we rested today were guys that we rested.
You don't see this setup a lot where a player transfers but stays with his team for several months like that. Were you ever worried that DeAndre's? It seems like it would take a certain mental makeup to make that work.
No, I mean, a lot of the teams that were talking, it was a similar type of situation because, obviously in England there's situations with work permits and being eligible that way. It was also where they were in their preseason planning. So a couple of clubs that were talking were saying about, okay, but we would want to keep them there. It's also, I think, a great reflection that teams in Europe realize that players are developing here, and the caliber of competition is very, very good. And I think if DeAndre stayed here and didn't go overseas, I think he continued to grow and develop. I mean, I think the challenge is going to be great, but I think there's a lot of challenges in our league, and our league is undervalued to a certain extent. And so you look at DeAndre, his development, you look at some of the other players that have come through our league and that have had success when they go over, it's because of the competition and experience that they gain playing in our league, because it is competitive and you do learn and you do improve, and we're at that stage now where we don't have to hide from any league in the world.
As a coach, is there, I don't know, are you of two minds where you want him to stay, but you also want him to kind of go where he wants to go and test himself against?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things at stake when you're looking at it. You're looking at, you always, as a coach, you always want to make decisions that are good for the club at the end of the day. If you're making a decision that's good for the club, it's the right decision. And so, as I said, the world of soccer is one where transfer fees are common, and players get bought and players get sold. That happens at every club, at big clubs, every place as well. And so you have to evaluate and say, okay, is this the right time? Is this the right situation? Is this what the player wants? Is this good for the club? So taking all those things into account, we felt it was the right time and right decision.
More questions? Thank you.
Okay, thanks.